Hey there, and welcome to this video where we'll cover how you can use AI to help you interview for grant writing positions at different companies, including companies like Google and the many nonprofits that are out there. And what I love about this video topic that we're going to go ahead and dive into is you're going to be able to personalize the questions and answers for your exact interview process that you'll be going through. So what does that mean? Well, let's go ahead and dive in and take a look. So here we're using this tool called ChatGPT. This is an AI tool that gives you answers based on prompts that you put in. Now, the first prompt that we'll be going through is one to provide you a list of interview questions. But before we do that, one thing to know, ChatGPT does have a base free model, so you can jump in and use it for free. It also has an upgrade to Plus model where you can pay about $20 a month to use this product. And that way, if it ever becomes too overloaded and it says, hey, we're at capacity right now, you won't face that issue if you upgrade to Plus. So it's just handy if you use this tool very often. If you don't use it too often, the base free plan, which is what we're on right now, should be fine for you. Now let's go ahead and check this out and see how we can help you with your grant writer interview process using this AI tool. So we're going to plug in this prompt right here, and it says, provide us a list of interview questions for a grant writer position at Google. And ChatGPT is going to go ahead and do just that. Now, the questions that it may provide us may be a bit general, but we can go ahead and personalize these over and again based on the different segment of Google that we want to work at. As you may know, Google owns a number of different products, including YouTube. And also they have different teams that focus on different parts of their product. So they have a team that focuses on more fintech solutions, and they have a team that focuses on health tech solutions and other solutions. So the more you know about the position that you're applying for, the more you can go ahead and personalize this list of interview questions that you may receive when interviewing for a grant writer position at Google. Now, what we want to do here is we also want the answers, because your answers may not be correct to the questions that this tool provided you. So you can get a list of answers to these questions simply by saying, can you give me a list of answers to these questions? You can also ask for more detail to a specific question, such as using a prompt like this one. Provide an ideal answer to number 10 using detailed examples. And reason why I say detailed examples is because when you're answering an interviewer, you always want to provide examples to help support your case. So let's go ahead and put in this prompt and see what we come out with. And there we have it. So it went ahead and provided us a detailed answer to that question. And what I love about the detailed answer that provides, that covers a number of aspects that if I was interviewing a grant writer, I would want them to talk about. Feel free to take a moment, pause the video so you can go ahead and read it here, or head over to ChatGPT and plug in the same prompt so that way you can get similar questions and answers. Now, if you go to ChatGPT and you plug in this prompt, you may not get the exact same questions that it provided me. And if you do it again, so if I went ahead and just took this prompt, opened up a new chat and plugged it in again, it may not provide me the exact same 10 questions. This is helpful if you want a list of questions to practice among, and that way you don't get caught off guard in an interview where they throw a question at you that you don't know. Now, the next thing that we can do here is we can go ahead and dig into these questions a little bit deeper. And one of the things that ChatGPT does is that if you don't provide specificities when it comes to what you want in terms of questions, it's going to give you something more general. But for us, if we're applying for a top company in a grant writer position, we know we may be asked some complex and challenging questions. So we want to prepare for that, and we want ChatGPT to help us. So we're going to ask ChatGPT to provide a list of challenging and complex interview questions for a grant writer position at Google. In this way, we now have a list of those that we can also practice among, and then we could generate the ideal answers to those as well. And now we can walk into an interview with a lot more confidence that we'll go ahead and land the job. And there we have it. We have a list of interview questions here for a grant writer position at Google that are more specific when it comes to things that are complex and challenging. And now we have a leg up to prepare for those type of questions. And feel free to take a moment again to go through these questions that provided us, and feel free to jump into ChatGPT yourself to go ahead and test this out too. So one of the things I want to do here to help us out is to analyze job descriptions to help us better prepare for something very specific, because often we're looking at a job description when we're applying for a role. In this case, we may be looking at a job description like this one right here. And what we want to do, we're just going to take this URL here. So we're just going to take this URL and we're going to go ahead and plug it in. And from there, what we're going to do is we're going to ask ChatGPT to analyze it and give us interview questions based on this job description. So as you can see, there's a number of details here. So let's just go back real quick. We have essential duties and responsibilities, other duties, qualifications, experience, physical requirements, and much more. Now let's go back to ChatGPT and we're going to say, provide us a list of interview questions based on this job description. Help me land this job. There we go. Provide a list of interview questions based on this job description to help me land this job. And we just plugged in the URL. Now it's going to analyze this URL and again, give us something that's more geared toward this exact job description. And that way we can better prepare for our grant writing interview, to say the least. I mean, it's looking at the exact details and requirements, and it's going to quiz us on that. So if you got an interview for this job that you applied to, well, now you can be almost as ready as possible by gearing everything that may come at you toward the job description itself. That's not all that you need, though. There's more that you need there, and we're going to dive into that in the next prompt. So keep staying with us, and we'll get there in just a minute. Now, what I love here is that you can see how detailed these questions are. And again, we can get answers to all of these questions. It even notices the name of the company here that we're applying for. So the nonprofit, Exceptional Children's Foundation. It's incredible that I can analyze a web page, pull out the name of the nonprofit, and then also gear all the questions accordingly to that job description. So let's go ahead and actually take a look at that nonprofit, which is right here, Exceptional Children's Foundation. And there's going to be a lot of information on this website that's actually not included here. So as you scroll down, they have a good amount of information here, and they may have more information on their about section. So we go to, you have overview, schools, therapeutic services, adults, events, how they can help you, news and resources, and business services, and go to like an overview of their company. So this is the overview here, and we have history, leadership, and a lot more. Now, if we go here and we say, take this URL, we plug it in, say provide us a list of interview questions to land a grant writer role at this company. And now it's going to give us another list of interview questions that we can use to personalize the experience that we'll likely go through if they decide to interview us. Now, what you'll notice here is that these interview questions still seem a bit general. That's not always the case. Sometimes they're going to be pretty specific to the URL that you put in there. But if they are general, it's likely that we have to go ahead and niche down on our prompt a bit more. So how do we do that? Well, one of the things that we could do is we can be specific about what the questions are on. And looking through this, there's not a lot of questions on the industry. So we're looking at Exceptional Children's Foundation and what they do. And one of the things that I'm realizing is none of the questions really focuses on services for children, adults with developmental disabilities, and other special needs. So we really need ChatGPT to give us some questions around that to help us prepare. So provide us a list of interview questions for a grant writer role related to the company's mission statement, values, and purpose. We say and benefits. So provide us a list of interview questions for a grant writer role at this nonprofit related to the company's mission statement, values, and benefits. Okay, let's check it out and see what we get in return. And you can see how much more specific it is here. I mean, this is pretty remarkable. Just adding a couple more details makes a huge difference, to say the least. And now we have an interview process that is much more likely to occur and something that is worth our time to prepare for. Moreover, if you're interviewing for a grant writer position, you can also use ChatGPT and AI to generate a list of interview questions for your process as a hiring manager when you're interviewing different candidates. So feel free to take a second to go through this list that was provided here. And it just shows how remarkable AI is today in helping you prepare for your interview process to land the grant writer job that you've always wanted. Make sure to use this tool. It is so helpful. And there we have it. AI is really making a difference in the interview process for not just a grant writer role, but for all positions, especially technical writing positions that we cover here on this YouTube channel. And if you feel like you have a better understanding of how to prepare for your grant writer role using AI, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and that way you can keep up to date with all of our videos where we cover different tips and tricks for becoming a great grant writer, just like this one, and also more lessons on the technical writing industry as a whole. And with that said, I'll go ahead and see you on some of those other lessons and we'll rock and roll from here. Cheers.